All right. So thank you everyone for being here. I know it's a Friday afternoon. The last thing you want to do on a Friday afternoon is listen to some chick moan and groan about ideal clients. This is the Ideal Client Blueprint webinar. So why? Why would you listen to me? I've been writing professionally for about 40 years. That really doesn't make a difference. What makes a difference, though, is I'm StoryBrand trained, which means I work in the StoryBrand format of marketing, which means we put customers first. And before you put the customers first, you need to know who they are. So let's dive in and we'll talk a little bit about a framework that I've designed on how to figure out who your clients are. We'll have plenty of time for questions. I'm praying to the angels above that my voice holds out. So we'll keep going and just try to see how it works. Why do you need to know who your ideal client is? Well, you've got to figure out a message first. And you don't know how to figure out your message unless you know who you're talking to. And you can't figure out your message unless you know what that person's problems are and how you solve them. So, the whole point of identifying who your ideal client is that you need to know what their problem is, how you solve it, who they want to become after they use your product or service, and what's your plan to get them there. It's easier to sell something to someone who has already bought something from you. So when you know who your ideal client is, you've dealt directly with them, you know how to solve their problem, they know they can trust you. It's easier to sell something else to them. Now, I've developed an I.D.E.A.L framework. I love acronyms. So there is a 5-step framework for helping you identify your ideal client. I do have a workbook that I will give you the link to as we move through. If you've got questions or comments, I will try to keep an eye on the chat. It's kind of hard to keep an eye on everyone who's here and what I'm supposed to be saying. And so if you put something in the chat and I miss it, please just interrupt me. You should be able to unmute yourself. So why does it matter that you know who your client is? You've got to be clear. Clarity is one of the first steps in the whole story brand framework. Is if you confuse, you lose. A confused prospect doesn't buy. And if you don't know who you're talking to, you don't know the message that you're giving out, then you don't know how to talk to the people who you're trying to get to. Now, I've heard people say, my product is for everyone. My service is for everyone. That's baloney. If your service is for everyone, your service is for no one. There's got to be someone who is the person who wants your product or service. I used to write a blog. I would write to my mom because I figured if my mom understood it and my mom said that was pretty good, then I thought everybody else should get it. And so knowing who your client is, what their problem is, how to talk to them, what your solution is, what your plan is, that keeps everything clear and ready for someone to step in and say, yes, I want you to help me solve my problem. Now, the main thing about the whole story brand framework is you and your product and your service is not the hero here. Your client is the hero. Think about your own story. How would it be for someone to step into your story and say, dun, 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 I'm saving the day. Here I am to save the day for you. You don't want someone to step into your story and solve your problem for you and become the hero. You want to show them how to become the hero of their own story. And that's why you are the guide. Your product or service guides them to the solution to whatever their problem is. They don't want another hero. You don't want to be the hero. Heroes are weak. Heroes often don't want to be the hero. Heroes often have been called and they say, hell no, I'm not going to do that. But guess what? They have to. Somehow they have to. The teacher finds out that there's a bomb in the building. There's no one else in the building who can dismantle it, and she has to be the one. How is she going to do that? She's going to look for a guide who's going to come in and say, this is the wire you clip. And then she becomes the hero. So you just need to remember that your customers are your heroes and you are the guide. You are the one who helps them reach the solution to their problem. So here's my ideal framework. I identify their goals and struggles. Determine your value. How do you step in and give them a plan to help them solve their problem? Where do they hang out? Explore where they hang out. Where are you going to find them so that you can talk to them and deliver your message? And then attract them with your messaging. Your messaging needs to be clear, it needs to be specific, and it needs to tell them exactly what you want them to do next. Then you listen to them, you refine, and you rinse and repeat. Go back and do it again. So let's start with identify their goals and struggles. Start by getting clear on what your client wants the most. What's standing in their way? Think about the people who you absolutely love to work with. What is the problem that you solve for them? Who are they? A lot of times we have stepped in and created a business because we had a problem that we couldn't find a solution to. So who is your client who looked just like you 5 years ago or before you found your solution? Those are the people who you want to focus on, the people who you absolutely love to work with, and the people who remind you of yourself before you found the solution that you're now trying to present and offer to people. Now, there are many ways that your client can think about their problem. Here in the StoryBrand universe, we talk about 3 different problems: the external problem, the internal problem, and the psychological problem. So the external problem is the actual physical thing that is stopping them from reaching who they want to become, how they want to feel. They wake up every day. They've had this mattress that they've slept on for 20 years. They know they need a new mattress. They have no idea how to select a mattress. They're looking for someone who can guide them through the process of getting the best mattress so that they can get a good night's sleep. That's their external problem. Their internal problem is, I feel such brain fog and I feel like I just can't get clear on what I need to do today because I am so tired. If I had a good mattress, if I could get a good night's sleep, I would be able to get my work done. I'd be able to figure out what I need to do. I'd be able to create a plan for the day. That's the internal problem. Then the psychological problem is, damn it, I should be able to get a good night's sleep. I deserve a good night's sleep. So identify their goals, identify their struggles. Once you figure out what their goals and their struggles are, who they want to become down the road, then you have a nice in on what it is that you could do to help them solve their problem. So here's a quick activity for you. I just want you to take a few minutes, jot down what are some of the struggles that your clients face. Your client doesn't face just one struggle. Your clients face several struggles. So by the time you get through and identify who they are and what their struggles are, that's going to help you figure out what are the best messages to use and where am I going to use those messages. So struggle number 1, what's their immediate problem that they're trying to solve? Struggle number 2, what's this ongoing challenge that they have to deal with over and over and over again? Is there a deeper underlying problem that would help, if they solved it, would help them the whole way? In the workbook that I have for you, that I will give you the link for at the end, there will be room for you to write down some of these struggles, some of these ideas, or some of these problems that you think your clients might have. So I identify your clients' problems and struggles. D, determine your value. Clients don't buy services. They buy solutions. They buy outcomes. They buy who they want to become after they've used your product or service to solve their problem. So instead of just describing what it is that you do, focus on what changes because of you. What's the transformation? Because you read my book on how to choose the best mattress, you are now able to go into any mattress store and figure out the mattress that's going to help you get a great night's sleep. Because you bought into my productivity program, you are going to save 10 hours a week that you can use to increase your revenue, to reach more people, to sell more service, more products or service. Because of the way that I teach you, you can become the go-to authority in your industry. People are going to look to you to solve their problem with your product or your service. So you don't want to just talk about the features, you want to talk about the benefits. People don't buy features, they buy benefits. So what's the difference? What's the difference between a feature and a benefit? A feature, I know I'm going to say this wrong. I'm not an engine person, but you're selling cars or you're selling trucks. This truck has a 6.0 liter V8 engine. I have no idea what I'm saying, so please just roll with me here. With a such and such towing capacity and space for this many occupants. Those features don't mean so much when someone is out looking for a truck that they know will be able to pull their camper through the Colorado Rockies. The benefit is this truck will pull your camper along with the other 5 occupants of your truck across Colorado, through the Rockies, whatever elevation you need to go, this truck will get you there safely. That's the benefit. Now, people make the decision to buy based on an emotional feeling. But once they make that decision to buy, they have to know, they have to be able to logically back it up. That's when you get to the features. Yes, this truck will pull your camper and the 5 occupants of your vehicle, of your truck, across Colorado. It will be safe because it has this size of an engine and this much towing capacity and all of the other features that that truck has. Just remember that your clients are not buying your services or your product. They're buying who they become after they use your service or your product or the outcome of what happens to them. Here's another mini exercise to think about. When you think about the problems that your clients have and the solutions that you offer, you should be able to think in terms of, because of me, my clients can blank. Because of me, my clients will feel comfortable knowing that they have all the information they need to choose the best mattress to give them the best night's sleep. Because of me, my clients feel safe taking their young family on the road, pulling their camper with this truck that's going to keep them safe and not going to break down because it has the capacity to pull the camper that they wanted or the trailer that they wanted to pull. Because of me, my clients have been able to increase their revenue 5 times because they've created more time in their schedule for them to go out and reach more people. So after you go through and you think about what are my clients' problems, how do I help them solve those problems, create a few of these statements. Because of me, my clients can blank. What will your clients be? Who will they become after they use your service or your product? All right, so we've had I, identify your client and their problems. D, determine your value. What is it that you offer to them? E, explore where they hang out. You might have the best message in the world, but if you're delivering it to the wrong audience, it's not going to do you any good. So you need to know where those folks hang out. Offline spaces. Do they hang out in coffee shops? Do they hang out in libraries? Do they hang out at community events? Do they hang out at high school sporting events? Where do your clients go in your community? Online, do they hang out on Facebook? Do they hang out on TikTok? Are they on LinkedIn? If your clients primarily hang out on LinkedIn and you're only providing social media posts on Facebook, you're not going to reach them. So you need to know where it is that they hang out. Do your clients listen to podcasts? Do they read blogs? Do they watch YouTube channels? Are they newsletter consumers? If you know that your clients love to read a weekly newsletter, then by golly, you better have a weekly newsletter. If you know that your clients love to scroll through YouTube, then you need to have some shorts on YouTube. You need to have a YouTube channel. You need to be there so that they can find you there. So explore where they hang out. So here is another exercise. Just go through these 5 different areas. Every time and every location where you find your clients, that's another touch point. That's another way that you can reach them. And I've heard numbers from 5 to 17, that it takes 5 to 17 touch points for someone to hear your message and trust you enough to be able to say, yes, I want to purchase from you. So online, think online. Where are some places where my folks hang out online? Where are some places, some professional organizations that my folks belong to? Where are some events or community locations where they are? What about learning environments? Do they like learning? Do they like Coursera? Do they like Udemy? Do they like to take online courses? What you offer, how you serve them, and how they can use your product or service to solve their problem. So we have I, identify your client and their problem. D, determine your value to them. E, explore where they hang out. And then A, attract them with your messaging. You have to speak to them. So think about the language that your customers use. A lot of times in your industry, there may be a lingo. And if you're trying to attract clients who already speak that lingo, then okay, it's okay to use that lingo. If you're trying to attract clients who maybe are new to your community, you want to make sure that you are not using industry specific language because they won't know what that means. So when I come on here and I talk about lead magnets and landing pages and nurture sequences and all that stuff, you don't know that a lead magnet is something free that you put out there that you offer to your people so that they can go to a specific page where they can say, yes, I want to download this free thing that you're offering to me. And in exchange for that, I'm going to give you my email address. Then you can start to see that a nurture sequence is a sequence of emails that after that customer gives you their email address in exchange for this free thing that you're offering that offers great value, then you're going to start a sequence of emails to them that come to them on a regular basis that go back and talk about that lead, talk about that freebie, talk about what you talked about in that freebie. You offer them more value, give them more information, uh, do things to nurture them along that entire customer journey. You can address objections that they may have. There are going to be some objections that customers are just going to naturally have. I need to talk to my spouse. Okay, well, then how about if we set up a time that we can meet with your spouse and you, and I can answer any questions that your spouse might have about this. That's just too much money. I understand that. What are you willing to pay to solve this problem that you've been looking to solve? And what happens if you choose not to solve this problem right now? Where do things go from there? I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time to do another program. All right, I understand that. I get that. This is something that you can do on your own time at night, on the weekends. I am available through WhatsApp or Slack or whatever, anytime you want to reach out. Or you could say, all right, you don't have time to work on this problem. When are you going to make the time to solve this problem that you have? Maybe it is time now that you make the time to solve that problem. You want to give them a message that makes them think, this is for me. This is what I want. This is what's going to help me. And this person is talking right to me. Now, why do you want to make sure you're talking to the right client? It's not very fun talking to someone who you know you just don't gel with. And if you see someone has sent you an email and you cringe, oh, I don't want to open that email. That's that's someone you probably should not be working with. That's someone who you should probably be referring to someone else who you think might fit that person better. Um, and that person is not going to get the best result from you if they don't communicate on the same level that you do. So you want to find people who talk directly, who you talk directly to. You use simple, clear language. You don't use industry jargon, and you make sure that the the words that you're using are the same words that they use. So, how do you figure out some of these things? Where do you go to get some of the information that's going to help you know if you're talking to the right people? There are all kinds of tools out there that you can use. These are just a few of them. You can go to Google Trends and find out what the trends are happening. You can go on, what is it? Um, Ask the Public. Is that it? Ask the Public. Yeah, I think it's something with that Neil Patel does. It will come up with all these different questions related to a specific topic that people are asking questions about. You can use your social media analytics, your website analytics to find out who is visiting your site. How long are they staying on your site? Your email analytics. If you send out an email and no one clicks through to find out what it is that you're offering, then obviously your email didn't get the message across. If people click through and they get to your website and then they jump, that's called bouncing. If they jump off immediately, your website message isn't clear. If people spend all the time on your website and they look through and they read all your stuff, but they still don't convert, they still don't click through to do what you ask them to, maybe what you're asking them to do isn't clear and they don't know what they need to do next. Persona builders, there are so many different things out there. And a lot of people are like, I don't want to build a persona for Sherry, who's 35 to 65, who has 3 children, and she has a college degree, and she works from home. I don't want to build that kind of a persona. Well, you can go through and you can build personas for the different types of people you talk to. But this is another way for you to figure out, who is it that you are speaking to? Who is it? Who are the people who work, who are looking for the solution that you have to offer? Now, in the world of AI now, You can go out, you can go to Chat GPT, you can go to Perplexity, you can use Perplexity's internet browser, Comet, you can use Copilot, you can use Claude. There are so many different AI tools out there that you can go and you can just ask, this is what I do. This is the way I teach it. Who are my people? Give me an idea of who my people are. How do I reach them? And where do they hang out? And and then tell me where you got that information so I can go to that place and do some more research myself. That's where AI can come in to play and really, really help you out a lot. So here's some before and after, some examples of some before and after messaging. Let's say you're a bookkeeper. Your before messages: I offer bookkeeping services for small businesses. Okay, good for you. You go, guy. You offer bookkeeping services like thousands of other bookkeepers in the United States. What makes you different? The after messages: I help overwhelmed business owners gain peace of mind so that they know their finances are organized, compliant, and working to support their growth. Those business owners know exactly what your goals are for them. They know exactly where you're going to take them. You're going to help them feel confident and secure in the numbers that you are helping them discover as they go through the whole bookkeeping process. Now, in the world of StoryBrand, we call this a one-liner. It's not necessarily one line, but it's short and sweet, and it gives your message perfectly. My one-liner is: I help small business owners speak directly to their ideal clients so their clients know exactly how they serve them and help them solve their problem. That's what I do. We can do the same thing for you. Go through and talk about your ideal client. Who are they? What do they do? How do you help them? What's your message? So you can craft your own one-liner where you talk about: I help your ideal client who struggles with this problem to achieve this outcome by creating this solution. I help busy entrepreneurs who struggle with inconsistent sales. I help business entrepreneurs who struggle with inconsistent sales to build predictable revenue by implementing automated follow-up systems. I help service-based businesses who struggle with price objections to command premium rates by developing a distinctive brand position strategy. I help new parents who struggle with sleep deprivation to get their babies sleeping through the night by teaching them gentle, customized sleeping training methods for their children. That is a perfect one. Those are perfect one-liners that help you figure out exactly how clients are going to solve their problem, and move ahead and transform into the person they want to be. So we had I, identify your client; D, define your value; E, explore where they hang out; A, attract them with the proper messaging; L, listen and then refine. You've got to test things. This is never a one and done. Your messaging is never find it, fix it, and forget it. This is something that evolves with time. It evolves as your clients change. It evolves how you change. And it's something that you just have to regularly go back and revise and refine. You can test. There are so many different ways you can test what message works better than another. Most email providers will allow you to do what they call A/B testing, where they'll randomly split your email list into two groups and send one email worded a certain way to one group and another email worded a different way to another group, and see which one has the best messaging. You can ask them directly. Maybe you have a Facebook group. Maybe you go to your email list and you say, listen, I'm just trying to figure out, am I doing what you need? Am I providing what you want me to provide? Or can I do this in a better way? Or what are the things that you wish I could do? And offer them a survey. Allow them to tell you. Call them. Schedule time with them. Hey, this is Susie from Susie Taylor Marketing. I know that I saw that you came to my webinar last Friday. I was just wondering if you had 5 minutes to give me some ideas. Give me some feedback on what you would have wished it was. Did it accomplish what you wanted? Did you get the information that you wanted? What could I have done differently that would have helped you? There is absolutely nothing wrong with asking your clients directly, what is it that you need? Um, so I just I want you to sit back and think. So you've jotted down some problems that your clients may have. You've talked about or you've jotted down some ways or thought about some ways that you help them solve their problems. And thought a little bit about, maybe you've thought about a one-liner that you help blank do whatever so they accomplish this with your solution. What are some questions? Did a client say something to you recently that made you stop and think about, am I doing this the right way? Was there an objection that someone had that you didn't anticipate? What about some feedback that you didn't anticipate that surprised you? Um, and are your clients telling you that there's another problem that they have that you hadn't even thought about? So listen to them, and don't just sit back and wait for your clients to say, "Hey, I wish you would have done blah blah blah." Go to them directly and ask them directly. So, as a recap, this is the ideal framework. Identify your primary client's goals and struggles. Determine your value to them. Clarify how the product or service you provide transforms them, gives what the benefits are to that product or service. Explore where they hang out. Figure out where you have to go in order to deliver your message, and attract them with messaging that's clear, compelling, and tells them exactly what you want them to do next. And then listen to what they're telling you. Go back and then refine it. So this is really all I had for you. Let me share this workbook with you. I'll put this in the chat. That is a link to the document, the Ideal Client Discovery Workbook. You'll want to make a copy and download your own copy, and then use it to your own for your own purposes. I would love to sit and talk with you about how you can do this. Maybe walk you through this workbook. Let me put into the chat a link to my scheduling, my calendar link. And I'll be happy to spend some time with you to go through and talk about where this will help, where this workbook will help you, how it can help you develop your messaging. And talk about a little bit more about what kind of next steps you might have. Um, Also, I do want to let you know that I've partnered up with a graphic designer. We're offering a um, a done in a day website. Yes, done in a day website. I've put the link in the chat. Um, Go visit doneinaday.website.com if you know anyone, if you know anyone who would like to, who needs a website. Um, and they've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, then I invite you to please uh, turn them in our, direct them to us. Hey, Joe, we're just
Got
getting
hijacked on just before the.
finished. That's okay. That's okay. I'll put this link in. That's for in the chat for a workbook that I've created on how to go through and identify your ideal client. I created a framework that I call IDEAL. I love acronyms. It's identify your client, your ideal client and their problems. Define your value to them. Explore where they hang out. You can't talk to them, you can't send them any messages if you don't know where they are. Attract them with messaging that speaks directly to them, does not use lingo, uses clear, compelling language, and then listen and refine. Go back and see what they're telling you, what they're asking you for. Are you doing what they asked you for? And just ask them directly, is this what you thought this was going to be? Um, that is really all I had for today. If you've got questions or if you would like more details, I'd be happy to talk with you some more. We've got about 13 minutes until the top of the hour. My voice should last until then. Um, and I'm just so grateful that you expressed an interest in wanting
Really
to
good,
learn a little
Susie.
bit more. And
Susie,
thanks.
what if they don't know? I mean, what if I don't really know who my ideal client would be? Because in my case, let's say for the cooking classes and services, it could be male or female. I guess it could be either, right? Just
It could be either. Think about what you learned that you thought, huh, I need to tell that to people.
gosh, I've learned
So
so much.
maybe it's someone who um, suddenly finds themselves cooking for one.
Yeah,
I mean, I was cooking for five. Now I'm cooking for two.
yeah.
And so now it's I just need recipes that I know are going to be healthy
And
and that I can do quickly. Other than pasta and carry out.
yeah.
DoorDash is not an option.
Hmm. Everything's
So
so expensive now, and it's
yeah,
just not the same as what you
yeah.
make at home.
Um, think in terms of and with the patches, think about where you were before
Yeah.
you found the patches and how did they transform your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same type of person you're
And what
trying
about part? Yeah. And what about for doing the business, the MLM? Who would I think about?
maybe someone has had some health issues. These patches are going to help them solve those health issues or help them find see themselves on the other end once they've dealt with those health issues. Now they have to figure out a way to make a living.
Yeah.
This can help them. This can you can talk to your friends and family about how this product helped you, how it's helped you create an income for yourself. Um, it, it's not just one message.
It's
You're
several.
going to
Yeah.
have you're going to have several different types of clients. They're going to each have several different types of problems and
Hmm.
issues that they're trying to solve. So you're going to have several different messages that you want to get out.
Okay. All right. Okie dokie. I got the workbook, so I'll look at that.
Awesome.
Susie, would you like to present next week at WRN Mighty Connectors? This topic?
Sure. Sure. I'd be
A
happy
15
to.
minute, yeah, we had 25 people on this morning,
Oh, wait.
Oh,
and
What?
Aurelia
What
didn't make
time
it.
is it?
It's 7 a.m. Pacific.
Oh,
I
okay.
I'm doing physical therapy now. So
Yeah, I'll have to reschedule something, but yes, I would be happy to do it.
Okay, I'll book you in if you're able. Now, this is good stuff. I think and people would benefit by going through this. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
uh
Thank you so much, Joy.
Joe, did what's her name? Chrisia, did she make the meeting?
Yes.
Oh, good, good. I want to see her involved. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really dynamic speaker this morning,
Who was it?
Anthony Caleo, and he's former Disney executive, serves on the board with me on the World Ethics Organization. He's also a member of WRN, and you talked about being present and being yourself, and it was really good discussion, and we got a lot of activity. So, like I said, there's 25 people that showed up, and
Great.
Wow,
we're,
that's
we're
amazing.
doing we're starting to get a following in this thing. So I thought this is the kind of stuff that I want to show people. If you're going to come for a Friday morning, I'm not going to, we'll all get a chance to introduce ourselves, but I want to be able to bring people in that can convey some information, and as opposed to kind of, promoting a product.
Yeah, yeah. How long do you want it to be? About 10 minutes?
We'd like about 15 minutes with a
Okay.
Q&A. We
Okay,
can
I can
cover
do that.
this in 15 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I can
Uh,
book you in, and we'll make all that happen.
awesome. Awesome. Al,
Sorry I
thank
wasn't
you.
able to get there from the start, but
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
you're fine.
just 5 minutes before, I said, you think, and 5 minutes before the thing started, I got a phone call, and I had
That's
to.
okay. I'm going to send out, I'll go ahead and upload this to YouTube. So I'll send out a link to it if it's something that you want to look at. I'm listening to my wonderful husky voice. I'm sure it's going to be not something that people are going to want to hear, but
like
there we go.
like Marge
Thank you.
Simpson's sisters.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to Joe? He was here, Joe Perez. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I thought we kind of changed some exchanged some messages earlier in the week. He wasn't
Uh-huh.
sure he was going to be able to come. He was going to send his note taker, and then he just decided at the last minute to come himself. So maybe whatever conflict he thought he might have, maybe that came up again. But Al, I just wanted to let you know if you have any questions whatsoever, just feel free to let me know. Um, I'll we're connected on LinkedIn, so just send me a LinkedIn message, and we'll go from there. All right.
So do you have like a class on you're saying the Done in a Day website? Do you have that type of classes?
A website? Do
Or
I have a website?
no, you put a link on the Done in a Day website.com. So
Yes.
do you have like you go through a class or something? A mini class or
No,
something like that?
actually, what we would do with the Done in a Day website program, we talk with you, we find out if we think we might be able to serve you. And then we have a time where we spend you the client, the graphic designer and I sit down for about an hour and talk about some record keeping. What's your URL? Do you have a domain name? Where do you have your hosting? Do you have a CRM already? Do you have an email provider? What if you do, what are those? And then how can we get into those so that we can help you link them? And then we ask you some questions. We have a survey that we want you to fill out about who you are, who you serve, why you do this in the first place, what your motivation is. And then we schedule a time where we are on Zoom for 8 hours. Now, you don't have to be there for 8 hours, but we want to make it so that you are available. So if we have questions, one of the biggest problems that we have found with folks is that conversation back and forth between developer, designer, writer, and client, it takes forever. And if we know that you're available while we're sitting there working on it, then we can contact you. You come right back in. We ask our question. We get our question answered immediately. And by the end of the day, you have a home page, an about page, a services page, a contact page that we will connect to whatever your email program is. And then we'll also help you develop a, a lead magnet or some sort of a freebie that you can give away, and a landing page that someone can go to get that lead magnet. And so it's not cookie cutter. It's not everybody gets a website that looks the same. That's not it at all. But we use that time ahead of time to do our homework, really, and to figure out some things so that we're not trying to figure those things out on the build day. And then we just take a day and we build it. And at the end of the day, it works.
Yep. And your slides, is it done by Gamma or the earlier slides that you?
No, they're WordPress websites.
Oh, okay, okay.
If you have a hosting platform that you already use, then we can help you get it up on that website. If you don't have a hosting platform, we work primarily with SiteGround, but we can use whatever hosting platform you use. We like WordPress websites because if you at some point in the future decide that you want to start some sort of a blog or something that you can use to communicate with your clients, with your people, it's really easy to do. And we already know how to do WordPress websites. I don't know Wix. I don't know Squarespace. I don't know a lot of the other builders that are out there, or the website platforms that are out there. But I do know WordPress, and my designer friend does know WordPress. So that's why we would use a WordPress format.
Yeah.
So
So just a comment. Yeah,
I
just a
have
comment.
I have a quick
The
question. I'm sorry. Will you send the recording just real quick? Because I've
Yes,
got to.
absolutely.
Okay,
It'll
thank
come
you.
out.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye.
Thank you.
just a comment. Those the slides. Some of the writings are very small, So maybe you can
Okay.
increase the font a bit bigger. I mean those the content, The
Okay.
title is good, It's a lot of space, but it's
All
just that
right.
the font can be
Thank you.
increased a bit bigger, would be good. Yeah, thank you. Mm.
Wonderful. Thank you for that feedback, Al. I really appreciate it.
All right.
I thank you both
Mhm.
so much for being here and for putting up with my scratchy voice.
Mm.
You
Thanks a
Have a
lot.
great
that
weekend.
voice, and nice to meet you, Al.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Joe.
Thank you.
Yeah, done. Goodbye.
All right. You guys take care. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
I'll send you some information about next Friday.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.